If you were to buy a brand new house, you would hope it would all be perfect, wouldn't you, when you move in? It's a pretty big investment. Imagine, though, if 8 months after you'd moved in on a brand new estate, it was still unfinished. That's the problem facing homeowners in Talk on the Bluebell, Croft and Mitchell Gardens new estate, which has been built by Taylor Wimpey. It's even been brought up this in the House of Commons by the Labour MP for Stoke North, Ruth Smeeth.
I can testify to the appalling state that the estate has been left in. Roads have not been tarmacked and they've been left with raised metalwork, which poses a hazard to drivers. Curbs and pavements have been left damaged or unfinished. A playground built within the estate has a range of safety issues which have not been addressed, and we are now in the school holidays. It has taken one resident nearly a year to get her street lights outside her house switched on.
Pretty stressful. It's stressful anyway, moving house, isn't it? Before John Akers clocked off for his week off, we've sent him down to Talk to find out what the problems are there.
So I'm coming to meet Emily. These houses, if you get to the crossroads in Talk with the pub on them and you go straight over towards Alsager, you turn right down there and that's where these new houses are. But I'm now driving into Ryder Grove. So here we go, I'm going to run the gauntlet. So that was quite a big bump. I couldn't get the middle of the car over that one. So we've got really deep curbs here. We have got tarmac, but it's not the best. I'm here. Let's go and meet Emily. Hi Emily, you alright?
Thanks.
How you doing? I'm John.
I'm alright, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yes, and you.
So this is a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Tell me the story from start to finish of what you've had to put up with here.
Well, we moved into the property on the 18th of December. We were the last property to be finished on the site. The roads weren't complete by then, but obviously because it's a Christmas period, I didn't really think much into it, thinking the bad weather, etc. We then all received a letter, I think it was around January time, advising that they were going to start the roads. That never happened at all. We had no streetlights working either, so obviously the roads are just as bad, no streetlights either. So then I started emailing the beginning of April time.
So you waited 3 months. I mean, you weren't. Yeah. It's not too bad, is it?
No, not really. I can't say I'm like a massive complainer, but considering they're not really cheap houses, I mean, you paying for a brand new house expecting everything to be complete for you, and we're first time buyers, so we just thought everything would be fine, the roads would be immaculate. Not the case at all.
So what impact has this had on you and your life since you moved in? Spent a lot of money on your first house.
Well, yeah, we can't have elderly visitors around, so my partner's family can't visit round who are sort of in the 80s, 90s.
Because the pavements are too uneven.
It's that bad. Yeah, I often see families taking the pram off the pavement and driving on it, pushing the pram on the road because the paths are that bad.
What about cars?
Cars are just as bad. You're sort of driving to basically dodge.
You've got quite a nice car as well.
Yeah, I got a nice Audi. So you're trying to dodge the potholes, basically. Because if this was council owned, you'd be phoning up the council every week, complaining, moaning about the potholes. I don't see why it should be any different just because they're it's private land and it's owned by Taylor Wimpey. You'd hoped it'd be complete, really.
This is Carl, your local councillor. He's popped in for a cup of tea as well. Whose fault is it, Carl? Do you know? Who needs to get this done?
Well, I think partly it is down to Taylor Wimpey to make sure that when they're building these properties that the estate is accessible and that the roads are safe for people to use. As Emily's just said about the footpaths, there is an issue that they are dangerous.
I've gone to MP Ruth Smeeth and she came the other week just videoing the estate, but she's not getting any response either from Taylor Wimpey. So,
but then she's mentioned it in the House of Commons now, and suddenly stuff started to happen.
Suddenly, yeah.
All of a sudden, it seems that they're now taking a bit of notice. They've been walking around the estate and they've already started to do a little bit of work on some of the grids and some around the tarmacking around some of the grids on the road.
There's loads of fresh tarmac about, and they've done a grass verge. Emily, have they as well?
Yeah, they did the tarmac yesterday because I had to put a complaint in yesterday saying when I get an issue with my car, will I be billing them for it? Yeah. Straight away the next morning they were out doing all the grids. So it's amazing. Basically, a bit of complaining sometimes or taking it a bit higher. But you shouldn't have to go to Parliament to be discussed.
Hopefully next time I come, it'll be a bit easier to get to your house.
We're hoping.
Oh, they've been through it a bit there, haven't they? BBC Radio Stoke's John Akers talking to Emily at the new Bluebell, Croft and Mitchell Gardens estate in Torque. Still unfinished 8 months after Emily and her family moved in. Producer Matt Lee is in the studio. Matt, what have the builders, Taylor Wimpey, had to say about this?
Well, Liz, we had invited them onto the programme this morning to talk to you about people's problems, but they told us no one was available for interview, so they sent us a statement over, which I have in my hand here. Now, basically, they're saying they understand the frustrations of people living in that area, but it is committed to finishing the necessary works as soon as possible. Now, the company's also told us that Staffordshire County Council's Highways Department is currently testing out the road surface down there, so it's looking at what the pavements and the roads are made of and how they can lay stuff down. So once those tests are carried out, the builder will then be able to go out onto the roads, carry out the resurfacing works on those footpaths and those roads as is necessary. Now, they're saying that that could happen about August time, so we're looking at about a week away there, and they reckon the work will take 6 weeks, so give or take 6 weeks. You're looking at about September, end of September, maybe start of October. Hopefully all should be sorted there. As we heard Emily say, it doesn't need to go to Parliament for this to happen. We can help people out as well, but I think it's just raising these issues is important. So looking at September, maybe that it should all be done according to the builders, Taylor Wimpey.
Oh, fingers crossed. And they just didn't want to talk to me.
Well, no, not you.
Asked them to come in and talk to you.
But they said, no, not a chance. not that Liz Ellis. No, talk to the listeners generally. They didn't want to come on and say anything, but they've sent us the statement, as we say. So September-ish.
Hopefully. Hopefully then something's getting sorted for you, Emily. Yeah, let us know if this affects you as well and how it goes on. We'll keep you up to date. And anything, like Matt says, if we can help you out, anything that's going on that maybe we can look into for you, that's what we're here for. Use us at BBC Radio Stoke. You can phone us up on our free phone number 0800 121 8080.